Welcome to this series of information videos for the staff at UCC. And today I'm going to start off by interviewing my colleague, Professor John O'Halloran, to help us better understand how we will navigate our return to campus. So John, I have some questions to help us all better understand what our UCC experience will be come September. And if I could start perhaps noting Fiona Carney's gorgeous tweet this morning about the gates of UCC reopening, which is just wonderful news. And I wonder if you can shed some light on the general issue of UCC opening and our return to campus.
Thanks, Louise. I was really excited when I saw Fiona's tweet as well. I just seen those gates open again because last Friday that I was in the campus myself, and it was really kind of sad to see it so empty of our colleagues and students. So seeing those gates open today was fantastic. So Louise and colleagues, this has been a really difficult time for all of us. So we're really excited about exploring the opportunities of going back in. But of course, we can only go back in an orderly fashion. But while we may have shut the doors and gates and went out quickly, we are subject, quite rightly, to a range of protocols and steps by the Health and Safety Authority and the government in terms of following our regulations. So today, July 13th, we are starting to let some colleagues back in. That's not to say there haven't been a lot of people in the campus in the last number of weeks and months. And I want to give a shout out for security staff, for buildings and estate staff, who've been amazing, actually, bringing safe entry of our colleagues into the campus at this time. And then more recently, we've had research staff in, and there's been about 300 of those across the campus and in the various research centres. And now some of our professional service staff, together with some of our academic colleagues and others, will be coming in over the next few weeks. So today, July 13th, we're starting to first entry onto the campus, and then by July 20th, the expectation is that the majority of buildings will be open and the work that buildings and estates have to do will be completed. There's a number of steps that people have to take. There is a permission to come on. You need to take a short course online so that you understand the safety and the hazards during this COVID period. So I think what I'd ask people to do is A, to be excited to come back, B, to make sure they prepare themselves, and C, have a look at the COVID UCC website where they will set out in some detail what's required. But probably actually your head of function, head of school is really important, that you go and seek out to your head of school and head of function, the head of office. Look, I want to get back in, and how might I do that?
Okay, great. And so when semester one begins, I wonder if you can talk to us about what teaching and hybrid teaching might look like for colleagues.
Thanks, Louise. And I think, in the last number of weeks, I suppose, let's go back to the end of the March period, we shut down and we did a crisis management in terms of delivering our program. It's quite different now. We're going into something that may go on for the entire semester or perhaps into the second semester. So the university has a range of planning groups together looking at all of the matters that relate, and today we'll just focus on the academic matters. So the first thing I would say is that we have adopted a rule of subsidiarity. What does that mean? It means each school will bring forward its proposals in relation to its delivery of programs, how it's going to deliver those, to whom it's going to deliver those, and when they might deliver those. So as to keep, what I've discovered over the last number of weeks is that keeping things certain is really important. And one of the certainties we did during the exam period, we stuck with the exam timetable. We are going to stick to the current teaching timetable. So whatever slot you had this time last year, or I had teaching, I'm going to get that back. So that gives some certainty. The second part we are prioritising is first-time people to UCC. So that's first years and first-year postgraduate students, on the basis that they have no relationship with us, or very little, or perhaps with the campus. So we're trying to prioritise those as a cohort, and then work through on the large classes, which might be a blended model. It might be completely online. But the authority and the responsibility for that will fall to each academic unit. And where I would like to be assured is that we are meeting the requirements of accrediting bodies, we're meeting the learning outcomes and so forth.
So John, remote working and working at home is something that's very new to most of us. And I wonder, does the university have a policy that underpins this?
Thanks, Louise. I mean, I think we all got bounced into working at home, and we did it, and people were fantastic. But I think we now, so we're still in that COVID period. So the university currently has a COVID working to home policy, which kind of sets out in broad terms what we're seeking to do. But colleagues will be aware that the government have announced just last week, with a consultation period up to the first week of August, a working from home policy. We will be aware that the new government has plans to have certain proportions of opportunity for certain portions of people to work at home. I think the future of all our lives will be more working at home. But I think what's from the university is its employer, but also as colleagues, we need to find a way to do that. So I'm looking forward, Louise, to working with you as chair of the Academic Council Committee on Staff, with governing body and all our colleagues, to ensure that we put in place a policy that's enabling, that's secure, and enables our staff to meet their ambitions. And maybe even better, actually, that you're not stuck in that commute for a little while, and you can actually have some time and maybe a bit more flexible as well. So I'm an eternal optimist, so I'm hoping we continue to do that.
That's really positive. That's great to hear, John.
Thanks, Louise.
I suppose if I could finish, John, to ask you about the challenges and the uncertainties that all of us face at the moment and into the coming year. And I wonder, is there scope for people for flexible learning or other approaches that might make it a bit easier for people?
Yeah, I think we've all been challenged, I think both personally and professionally, and everybody's circumstance is different. So it's very clear to me that the university will absolutely support our staff to ensure they have a safe return to work if it's appropriate that they do so. So the first rule of thumb is you don't come back to UCC unless it's absolutely essential. You're of course welcome to come back, but there may be circumstances that prevent you from doing so. So be assured, we want you in the first instance to speak to whoever your line manager, if I could use that phrase, it's the head of school or head of department, to seek out those supports and clarity of where your role is, because it's clear to me that the university will need people to be on campus. So I think there are groups of people who can and would like to come to work. There are those who really want to come and perhaps can't, and there are those that really truly can't actually, and we will respect those, but actually we do need to open up that conversation to ensure that we get back to the safe, fantastic, vibrant campus that we all love and we love being. I really miss meeting people like yourself, Louise, when we walk across the campus, because we learn from each other. We also enjoy your company and enjoy each other's colleagues' company, and I think we all miss that. I know we're substituting it with this kind of conversation, but I'm really excited about going back, but I absolutely recognise that won't be possible for everybody at this time.
Great. That's fantastic, John. So I suppose the final question is, individual staff members, if they have concerns or they need guidance and support, who do they speak to?
I think the most important first point would be your head of school or head of function or head of department. That's really the first thing. But I will also encourage people to look at the COVID UCC website. It is a lot of frequently asked questions. I want people to feel empowered. I want people to feel safe. I want people to feel valued, because it's incredibly important to me that and the institution that people feel valued. And if there are any issues, please let us know. We want to know. We want to support you. So thanks, Louise, and thanks for the opportunity to share this. Thank you.
Thanks, John.